Hi guys, this is Heather with Creativity by Heather B. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited to show you an order that I just received today from Brutus Monroe Stamps. And this is an awesome stamp company that was created by a gentleman named Christopher Allen. And I have been familiar with Christopher Allen for many years. About 3 or 4 years ago, I started doing Cricut, a Cricut cutting machine, and I was a little intimidated when I first got it because there's so much stuff you can do with it. So I went onto YouTube and started searching, and I came across Christopher's YouTube channel, and I just fell in love with his videos. He is so down to earth and just did such out-of-the-box projects and so much fun to watch and was very easy to follow. So during that time, Christopher created the stamp set Brutus Monroe, which I believe is named after his dog, or 2 dogs. And so I've kind of been keeping up with him because this is a stamp company from Pittsburgh, and I live in Texas now. I've lived here for about a year, but we moved here from Pittsburgh last August. So I've been really excited to see somebody from Pittsburgh just doing such amazing things with their stamp company, and really a lot of outside of the box thinking when it comes to stamps and inks and even the sequins, as you can see here, which we'll talk about. And so I went on and I decided to go ahead and order some stuff, and I will tell you, I will be going back on soon and ordering a lot more. I was just floored when I opened up the box today. The first thing that jumped out at me was the sequence, which I'm going to talk to you about in just a moment. I do want to mention to you, before I forget, that if you go to his website, which is brutusmonroe.com, and you sign up for their email, you will get an email back that will give you a code that'll give you 10% off your first order, which is awesome. So if you go to brutusmonroe.com, sign up for the email, and you will receive that code to help you out with your first order. And also currently, Brutus Monroe releases what's called an inspiration box, which is kind of like a stamp kit type thing, like some other companies do. Brutus Monroe's is released quarterly, and they just released one, I believe, yesterday for the fall, and this one's called You're a Hoot. It's $29.99. It's a $79.99 value. So this thing is jam-packed. And go to the website. When you go to their homepage, there's information about it right on the front screen. Just click on it. It'll take you in and show you everything that's included in it. It is just a limited quantity. So if it's something you're interested in, especially like the owls, the fall type look, go in there and check it out. It is really a great deal. Okay, so let's get into me showing you what I actually purchased in this order. So as I said, this was the first thing that caught my attention when I opened the box. And this is the Brutus Monroe sequins, and these are called bottle cap sequins. And I don't know, this is the cotton candy. I don't know how well the camera's picking it up, but these are absolutely gorgeous. When you tip it to one side, you can see a purple color. Over here, you've got pink, and then straight forward, you can get some blue. These are so beautiful. They have the holes, so they're sequins, but they're flat, so you could use them in a shaker card. You could put them as accents on your cards. They do sell at Brutus Monroe. You can get all of the sequins packs from that release in one set, so for one price. And I am going to go back in and order the rest of them because these were just so gorgeous. I was shocked. I mean, they're just beautiful. So those are the cotton candy bottle cap sequences. And there are several colors that they have. So the stamps that I ordered, I wanted to kind of get a little bit of a mix. And this one here, what really caught my attention, and this is the birthday badges. What caught my attention with this one was this simple little squiggly over here. This is what I love about Brutus Monroe. It's so unique and just kind of pushes that limit and steps outside the box and just creates so much fun. So when I saw this, I thought about all the possibilities. I mean, you could use this as a background. You could stamp this over and over on a background. You could stamp only some of it and do it as like a kite string. You could stamp it and heat emboss it. There's so much stuff you could do with this. You could stamp it and do like a emboss resist technique with it. Just, this is what really caught my eye. I just love this. So the other stamps that are in here is you have, this one's kind of more of a feminine stamp. You've got the Happy Birthday to You in gorgeous font. All of these have really pretty fonts. You've got some hearts and then the little closed bud flowers. This one, the Happy Birthday, which is a little more masculine, and I actually need to create my father a birthday card, and I will definitely be using this set. I love this one, as I said, just the outside the box, just thinking of those little extra things that, you know, you've got the flames, kind of the glow from the candles are up there. And then this is a fan. It says Happy Birthday to You. So gorgeous. So many things you could do with these. Just love this simple set, but so versatile. So this is the birthday badges set. The next set I got is, this one is Botanical Banners. And once again, just that outside of the box. These banners really caught my attention. I love that they're solid. And then you've got the fishtail, because I don't know about you, but I watch people make the little slit in the middle and then do the little fishtail, and it comes out perfect. I can never get those fishtails to come out perfect. I actually have a set of dies that I use, and so I love that this was already made into the stamps and that it was solid. So it'll give that different effect. You've got the little solid heart here, and then this gorgeous 3 roses. This is another thing that you could use as a background. You could stamp it in a corner. You could stamp it just in the center. You can turn it so you're using it up in that corner. You could do it down in a bottom corner. So many things that you can do with this stamp set. You could go in and watercolor these, which would be just absolutely gorgeous. Just a beautiful, beautiful stamp set. So this one is the Botanical Banners. And this is one that, this was the first thing in my cart. When I saw this background stamp, I don't know what it was that drew me to it, but I just loved it. I love the simplicity of it. I like that it's a background stamp that you could go in and you could stamp it just as is on black. You could go in and stamp it with colored ink. You could heat emboss it and watercolor it, because the images on the back are big enough to be able to do it. The other thing I love, and this wasn't even anything, I didn't realize it until I got it, is I love that it's not, most background stamps are just your typical square. They're straight edges. This one almost looks like it was fussy cut, and I love that. I love that it's kind of got this little jagged type edge on it. This I thought was just gorgeous. I'm really excited to create some backgrounds on some cards with this one. So this is the Floral Frenzy background, is the name of this one. Just beautiful. So this is something that is unique to Brutus Monroe and so phenomenal. These are called the City Sidewalks, and they're snow globes. So this one's Pittsburgh, of course, and it's got buildings that are famous in Pittsburgh. It's got the fountain. There's a fountain down at the point in Pittsburgh that he's got in there. And he's got different snow globes for different cities. So I should have written down the list for you. I know there's the Pittsburgh, there's a Boston one, Washington, D.C., Seattle, Chicago, and I think a San Francisco one. And there may be some others. But these are so awesome. So you've got the snow globe, and then each one comes with sending love from or missing you. And then they've got the die. So once you purchase the die, it'll work for all the snow globes. So then you just would have to get the stamp set. And these stamp sets, let me see. Yeah, $7.99 is what this is. The die was $9.99 and the stamp sets are $7.99. So they're really, really reasonable and affordable. I was talking to Christopher and told him I love this because we're huge Steeler fans. And I have some Steeler scrapbook paper that I want to use this globe to create some cards. You could even do it as Christmas cards. So excited about these. So go online and see if your city is there. I know that he will have future cities coming out and additional releases. So just so neat and unique. He's even got some of the bridges in the back, noticed. And then the die. Okay, so that's the stamps that I got. Now, I did order some paper, and this is another thing that just blew me away when I opened it up. I typically, for my colored cardstock, tend to lean towards Lawn Fawn. I just find it's a good quality, it's a good weight. I like the colors that they have. But I was out of the Blue Jay, and so that's why I ordered this one, which is the Cornflower. And I was floored when I saw this color. The vibrancy in this color is just amazing. This paper is gorgeous. I will definitely be ordering more of the cardstock from Brutus Monroe. I cannot wait to cut it and play with it and add it to my card bases. It is just beautiful, such a beautiful color. So you get 20 sheets, it's 80-pound weight. Of course, it's 8.5 by 11, and it's $5.99 for a pack of 20, which is comparable to what you're gonna get from other stamp companies. And this color is beautiful. I just, you can't even, the camera doesn't do it justice how pretty this paper is. So with his cardstock, he has inks that match. So I picked up 4 of the inks, and these are the surface inks. And what's so unique about the Brutus Monroe surface inks is that it's permanent ink, but it's also ink that you can watercolor with. So the reason that Christopher Allen designed these, the surface ink, is because he said he was tired of having 12 ink pads that did 12 different things. And, you know, we can all relate to that. You know, there's so many great stamp pads out on the market, and I know I'll get a couple and I really like them, and then I'll see another one and I'll pick up a few of those and I like those. So, you know, I end up with so many. So he wanted to create one that kind of does everything. So the colors that I got are the heather. Of course, I had to get the heather gray. Cornflower, which matches the cardstock. Phone book, which is so awesome for those of us that remember phone books. That is the exact color of the front of a phone book. And then the wagon, which is a deep dark red color. So I'm going to show you the last thing that I purchased, and then we're going to go in and I want to stamp some of these out so we can see what these inks look like. These are in 1-inch cubes, and they do have reinkers available, so you can get reinkers for these as well. So the last thing that I purchased was the Brutus Monroe stamp grid mat. And I had been wanting to get a stamp grid mat for a while now, and I looked at some other companies, and when I saw this one on the site, this one won me over for one simple thing, because of this little corner. So Brutus Monroe has included common card measurements. So we've got A2, A1, and B6 size cards. So if we look at the A2, it says 4 1/4 by 11 card base size. So that's your typical A2 card base. But then he gives you the measurements for if you want to layer it. So if you do one layer, would be 4 by 5 1/4. Layer 2 would be 3 3/4 by 5. Same thing for the A1, B6. So it gives you the measurements. I am a social studies teacher for a reason and not a math teacher, because numbers and I don't get along. So having this measurement here, it sold me. It was just awesome. It was, once again, so unique and something that you don't find. He also gave you room here for the notes to kind of stamp things off. And then of course you've got your 11 and goes up to 7.5. And this is 25 sheets, and the whole entire pad is 8.5 inches by 14. So you will definitely see this in my videos. And this was really reasonable too. $5.99 is what this was. So awesome, awesome. Can't wait to have that down. Okay, so let's look at some of these inks. So I have just a piece of Nina Solar 80 pound, and I had this stamp sitting around. I actually found it in a drawer. And so we're going to use this little cupcake. So we've got the heather, the cornflower, the phone book, and the wagon. So I'm going to stamp these going lightest to darkest, because as you know, darker inks tend to stain stamps, and it's a little bit harder to get it off sometimes. So I don't want it to mix with my yellow, my phone book. So let's go ahead and let's do the heather first. I like these because they're almost like a clear. Oh my goodness, look at that color. Just beautiful. See, I'm going to have to get the cardstock for that one too. Look how pretty that color is. But I like that they're kind of a clear case, just a little different. Okay, so let's stamp our little cupcake up. Look at that. It almost has like a chalky type look to it. If you can see it on the stamp, it's just beautiful. Okay, so let's stamp it down here. There we go. Look at that. The detail in it, just a gorgeous, gorgeous color. Very, very pretty. So that's the heather. So let's wipe our stamp off. And let's do the phone book. I just love this, the phone book. Takes me back to before Google and cell phones that you saved every number in, you know, when you actually knew people's phone number. Okay, so let's try the phone book. It almost looks like a mustard color. Oh yes, which it does. Very, very pretty. Gorgeous. My stamp was a little bit wet. My stamp chamois needed to be wrung out a little bit. But you can see it almost has kind of like a mustard type color to it. Very pretty. That one is just absolutely beautiful. As it's starting to smooth out a little bit even, it just gets nicer and nicer. Okay, so let's move on to our cornflower, which is the one that I got the paper, the cardstock to match. So let's stamp out our cornflower. Oh, wow. Beautiful. Look at that. So pretty. The color on that. These inks are just absolutely beautiful. Love these inks. And the fact that you can watercolor with them too. Just, I mean, and the inks they're only $3.99 a cube. So they're really, really reasonable priced. And like I said, they do have the re-inkers. So this is the wagon. Oh, wow. Immediately reminds me of Christmas. It's kind of like that darker red. To put like a dark green with that. Look at those two together. Almost like the 4th of July. Just absolutely beautiful. So I will be ordering more ink colors, apparently, and cardstock to match. Because can you imagine what the cardstock, just how beautiful those cardstocks would be? Because I've got the cornflower, which, let's see. So you can see they're so similar. Very, very close. Just gorgeous. So that is just a quick peek at Brutus Monroe and the order that I just received. So excited for this company. Please go onto Facebook, Instagram, support Brutus Monroe, Christopher Allen. We need these awesome out-of-the-box stamping companies. They make it so much fun to be a crafter and a card creator. So if you have any questions or anything, please leave a comment down below. I will link the product information and also the Brutus Monroe site. And don't forget to go onto the website, sign up for your email, get your 10% off, and check out the inspiration box. Have a great day.